Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because you are in store for an amazing treat. We have an awesome special guest who is going to be sharing with us how to build a business that lets you live. Okay. I know a lot of y'all want that more living and more life, right? That's what we're talking
Yes.
about here, business and life harmony. So before I get into it, I want you to meet her and I'm going to share with you her bio. But let me remind you, what is the purpose of this show? The purpose of this show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony. Because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is 100% possible to work smarter,
hmm
stress less, strengthen your relationships, increase your confidence, calm, and cash flow, and lead with much more spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial freedom. Then that's what we're talking about here. It's all about
hmm
that beauty on all sides. So, Mary, thank you so much for being here with us today. Like, we're so happy to have you here.
Yes, I am so happy to be here. Always happy to have any time in your presence, Heather. You just are always just a beam of light in my life. And so I am happy to be on your show and share some of my knowledge with your listeners.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. It's like we're kindred spirits for those of you who are listening.
Yes,
She's a sister
yes,
from another mister for sure.
yes, for sure.
So let me let you know who Mary is. Mary Gaul, she is a seasoned business coach, speaker, author, and podcast host who helps women solopreneurs grow thriving, value-aligned businesses with clarity, confidence, and joy. Oh, and she's so good with like amazing
Mhm.
gratitude and everything like that. Attitude of gratitude is like a whole, really the essence of living and beauty.
Yes, yeah.
Also the founder of Success Magnified and the leader of the Leap for Ladies community, where she combines
Yes.
practical strategies with loving accountability to guide entrepreneurs towards profitable growth, right? That leads to more
Yes.
fulfilling and fun. So this is definitely a lady y'all are going to want to make sure that you get into her world and stay around her a long time. So through her coaching, her community, and her conversations on her podcast, Mary empowers women to connect, contribute, and celebrate their way to success. Oh, that's so
Yes.
good,
My
Mary.
three C's.
Yes. Thank you so much for your service. And this topic, oh
Yes.
my goodness, we need to talk about this topic. Building
Yes.
a business that lets you live, right? Building a
Yes.
business where you can use your gifts that lets you live the life that you want. Mary, why is this something that's so important? Why is this topic so important?
Yes. I am right now, as we are recording this, in Spain, in Sevilla, Spain. I don't live here, but I've been here for a month, and I get to stay here for another week or so. Um, because I've put the systems in place, international travel is important to me, right? It's one of my values is curiosity and exploration, and so going and being able to travel and do it in this slow manner. And I'm still working while I'm here, right? So building a business that lets me have the freedom to live the life that I want to live is so important. And it's important for me to model that for my clients. And it's also just important for me as a human being on the planet to be able to enjoy other cultures, other people. And so I really love this topic of building a business that gives you freedom, right? Because we don't have to be tied. We became entrepreneurs, or many people became entrepreneurs because they wanted more freedom from their corporate job where they were told to show up at this time and take lunch at this time and work until this time, right? And so as entrepreneurs, we work often many more hours than we did in our corporate world, but we get to choose when those hours are, right? And we get to choose how we spend those hours and who we get to spend them with. And that freedom is so powerful. It's really one of the biggest benefits of being an entrepreneur is creating the life that you want.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I feel it deep down in my soul. And I know each one of y'all
hmm
out there do as well, because really, you're so right. You hit the nail on the head. We get into business to make an impact, to also seek
hmm
our freedom and to be able to live that purpose, passion, prosperity. And on the journey, sometimes we can get so bombarded with the purpose and what's going on. It like can cause even overwhelming uncertainty in the passion And then that gets
Yeah.
in the way of the profits and prosperity. So this part
Yes.
about like really amplifying the passion and like, the fact that you are the captain of your ship, like you're the master of
Yeah.
and owning that in business and life. Oh, that's so good, Mary. So good.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good. You're talking about traveling where you can still work.
Hmm.
And I, fellow kindred, we actually met traveling, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah. I loved it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good because I think actually this is a side question. Because I remember like how it was a struggle for me, like to, step out of my comfort zone and claim like, oh my goodness, I get to have all of my own time, money, and emotional freedom because I was a mom,
Yeah.
right? I was a
Hmm.
wife and
Hmm.
there was all these
Yeah.
responsibilities. But what do you think is like kind of the biggest thing for entrepreneurs that get in the way of creating that life that they want?
Yeah. I think there are situations where you don't have the freedom because you've got kids that are in school or those kind of things, or an aging parent you're taking care of, right? Where you have a little bit less freedom. However, I think the first thing is knowing what's going to bring you joy. What is the freedom that you're looking for, right? How can you get clarity around that? What does freedom look like for you? It's going to look different for each person. And so when you're building your business, just like you want to know what your ROI, your revenue is, or your bottom line revenue, your profitability in your business, you need to know what do you want your business to look like? How do you want your business to serve you and your family and your lifestyle? Right. And sometimes I think that gets overlooked as as entrepreneurs because we're doing these strategies and business plans and how can I get more clients and serve more clients and make an impact, right? But really, what is the business doing for you as a human being? And taking a moment to reconnect to that, that's one of my connect words, right? Connect, contribute, and celebrate. So connect for me is really how am I connected not only to the people that I'm working with, but how am I connected to my business on a deeper level? How does my business serve me? Does it bring me joy? Do I get to work with people that bring me joy, right? Yes, I do. Dr. Heather, right? So I get to work with her. Um, and does my business give me freedom, right? Freedom is one of my top 5 values. And so everything I do needs to kind of serve and relate to those values. And if freedom is a value for you, but you're working 80 hours a week in your business, there's a misalignment there, right? So really, I think the first thing is getting clear on what does freedom mean for you in your business, or how is your business serving you? And is it allowing you, have you built a business that allows you to have some freedom to do the things that you really love or the things that light you up? And then if you want to take it a step further, if you're stuck in that, like, oh, I've built this business, but I don't have any freedom in here, then what's, defining what that looks like and then working on, okay, in the next year, I'm going to build this, right? It's taken me 5 years to get my business to the point where I can take a working vacation for
Working
5 weeks, a
vacation.
working
It's a
vacation, right?
beautiful tax write-off.
Right. So it's so great though, because you're in a different place, you're in a different culture. So my days look completely different. I'm having more creative ideas. I get to sleep in the morning and then I have my coffee or whatever. And then I go be a tourist during the day. And then I come back, get myself ready. And by 5 o'clock in the evening, because of the time change where I'm from in Colorado, most of my clients are there. So it's, 6 o'clock here, 5 o'clock here, and it's 9 o'clock there. So I can do my calls in the evening and then, go to bed, get a good night's rest. It's just such a nice, slow pace. And I'm still doing my work. I'm still, supporting my clients and getting to do podcast interviews and all kinds of things while I'm here in Spain. But it's just it's such a slower pace that I think it's just if I could give this feeling to everybody, I would totally do that because we all need that as kind of overwhelmed entrepreneurs. We need that break every once in a while.
Yes, and then you come back a totally different person at another level. Like
Hmm.
there was a couple things that that came to mind as you were talking. So I'm going to try to remember the beauty of what was coming up. But the thing that you're experiencing is like this, the wealth and the luxury and the freedom, even if it's an intrinsic freedom. So we don't have to even go
Hmm.
anywhere to create that joy,
Right.
freedom. Like, how can you do that even if you're limited by those things? How can you do it even if you're um
Right.
but this part about being able to get out of into a different environment and a new flow that still
Hmm.
works with you
Hmm.
is something that's so possible. So that's one of the things that was coming up was like uh a lot of times when we go on our business, it's like, so you're talking about conforming the business to your lifestyle and your ideal freedom, whereas a lot of times we can, or can may conform our lifestyle to the business, and that's kind of like what we did when we were in
Hmm.
corporation and stuff. We got to break free from that, because like you said,
Yes.
your business is supposed to fit around your lifestyle, not
Hmm.
the other way around. And that actually brings more freedom. Um,
Yes.
so good.
Yes, I love it. I paddleboard during the summer, right? I lead a networking group that paddleboards every Friday. And so I'm here in Sevilla. It's middle of October and it's still 80 degrees here. And so I paddleboarded today. So getting in that flow, right? So that's the paddleboarding is one of the things I do when I'm at home, to give me freedom in my business. Every Friday morning, I block off on my calendar that I can go paddleboarding with a group of people that I love and, enjoy and have great conversations. And so that's how I built it in first. But now I get to do it internationally, right? So it's such a mirror moment of getting to be on a paddleboard in Spain when that's one of the small ways I was able to build in freedom into my business back in Colorado, right? So if you're in those situations where you can't travel for a month or whatever because of resources or family ties or whatever it is, right? Then what are some ways that you can start to build in some freedom, some things that refill your battery, that bring you such joy, because you're going to be such a better business owner if you take those small breaks and celebrate that you have the freedom to control your schedule.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that is so good. That's so good.
Hmm.
So pay attention to this, right? What she's saying, because it's not like, okay, we gotta take block off this time, we gotta block off this money, we gotta block off like the prep all. You don't even have to do all that. You can start
Hmm.
right where you are and be able
Yeah.
to ask that question. What can you start doing now to be able to bring more freedom into your life? I love that, Mary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, one of the things that was coming was, what would you tell someone who was like, it's possible for you, but I don't know if it's possible for me? Like, what would you tell them?
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell them it is possible for you. I was in the same space, right? When I started my first company, after being in the corporate world my whole life, when I started my first company, I quickly created a job for myself and not a business. And it took me years to figure that out. I got a business coach. I needed some outside help and perspective to be able to figure that out. But I was so used to it has to look like this. I have to work this many hours. I have to do these things. And I can't take a day off in the middle of the week, like, because that's vacation time, right? Or whatever, right? Those mindsets are so ingrained in us
I
that
know
it just takes time and you have to start small. Like I really did start with, I'm going to take Friday mornings off. And how could I do that? It's like, well, that feels so you feel guilty about it. You feel awkward about it. Like I can't let anybody know I'm not working on Fridays or, it's just, there's all the mindset. You have to work through some of that trash that's in there that's ingrained in us as training us to be employees, right? And when you're the boss, we get to be the boss and we get to take time off for ourselves, right? And sometimes it's just that mindset shift like it's okay to take some time off and recharge my batteries.
that.
And giving yourself permission, I think, is really an important step that most entrepreneurs need to take. And if they need to talk to me or talk to you and get that permission, I'm happy to give people permission to take time off to 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 recharge and rest. And that's when we have our best ideas, right?
Correct. Oh, I love that. I
Mm-hmm.
so appreciate you sharing even that journey because I feel like that is kind of the like that story like of the hero's journey. Like it was this way,
Mm-hmm.
now it's this way. So a lot of times when people see these successful people, sometimes they've gone through so many great things.
Right,
And then you
right.
learn. So this is so we're hearing this from experience. And as you were sharing your story, I was like, oh my goodness, yes, that was me. We leave a job, we're our bit it's like we become a
Mm-hmm.
prisoner to the business, but the business is not supposed to be a prison. It's supposed to
Right.
be a freedom like sanctuary, like I think of like a nice landscape or something, right?
Yes, yes,
And it is growing, it's flowing. And so
yes. And
I'm so
again, it took me 5 years to get to this point where and a pandemic, right? So because
oh yeah,
that
let's
helped
throw
me
that in
shift
there.
my business to an online business, and so now I can work with my clients from anywhere, right? So that's a benefit that came out of the pandemic is that it forced me to go online with all of my clients, right? So there are things that happen when we set the intention, like I want to be able to do slow travel. I want to be able to work from anywhere in the world. And if you're designing a business around that, but you're not actually doing that, then, work with Heather to figure out what's the block, work with me to figure out what strategies you might need to put in your business to, make that happen because I had to put in a lot of systems so that I could be organized enough to maintain my clients and set all the appointments and do all that kind of stuff. But then, once it's there, then I can work from anywhere now, right? But it didn't just happen. It doesn't just happen. It's not luck. It takes some strategy. It takes some clarity around what's really important to you. And
Strategy,
then,
clarity,
yeah.
systems. Wow,
Hmm.
so good. Okay, so
Yes.
how can um how can we continue this journey with you? I hope y'all like first of all, y'all I know y'all will love it, Mary. Put some hearts like this is so good. Like how can we continue this journey with you? Do you have a free gift
Yes.
that you want to share with us?
I do. I do. So since we just talked about systems, people can go, the link will be in the show notes, but they can go and download my key systems questionnaire or checklist, right? So it's a front and back page, but it kind of goes through all of the basic systems in your business, the major systems in your business, and it asks you some questions. So it might lead you to more questions, or you might be able to say, "Yep, got that one." But it'll help you analyze, okay, where do I need to put some effort into my systems so that I can create some more freedom for myself and my business, right? So they can download that for free. I also, if they go to my website, if they go to the Get Started, they can, if anybody wants to have a conversation with me about where they're at and where they're at in their business, they can book a 30-minute free chat with me. So we can talk about what's going on in your business and I can just give you some ideas about how to start building more freedom into your life.
I love that. Oh, that is so good. Okay, so
Yes,
these gifts
yes,
are so precious. Thank you so much for giving to them to us. We're gonna put that link in the show notes. So right under the, go ahead and click on the link and take advantage. I would say of both gifts. Get some time with me.
yes,
Let her know what's going on with your business, and she's gonna have some wisdom. I can guarantee you that's gonna go
yes,
next level. And then also get on her list for the checklist. And also, I want y'all to look at the Leap for Ladies community. So Mary, she
yes,
also runs the amazing Leap for Ladies community, beautiful sisterhood, and all
yes,
those are also on her page as well. Mary, thank
yes.
you so much for blessing us with your presence today and giving us some
Oh,
amazing, yummy goodness. Right? Okay, so everyone, as a recap, we're asked that question, what is the thing that's going to lead me to more freedom? What are these even
mhm.
micro steps that you can be able to take? I want to hear, based on everything that you shared with us, what
Yeah.
would be the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today?
I just got goosebumps head to toe, which is my universal truth sign, right? So I'm not sure what's going to come out of my mouth, but so it's
It's
universal
good.
truth here, right? So the word clarity popped into my mind, right? So really getting clear about what you want with your business and your life. So if we aren't clear, or if we've got goals that are kind of like this is what everybody else is doing, so I'm doing it too, and it may not be in alignment with you, getting clear is going to help you move forward so much faster than trying to look and build a business like everybody else, right? So when you know what you want, what freedom looks like for you, what clients you want to work with, what brings you joy, the people that you want to work with, and how you want to work with them, that clarity can just leapfrog you forward when you don't have to go through all the struggles of trying to look like everybody else. So getting clear is my answer.
So great. Like I feel like let this message, everyone, marinate into your mind, body, heart, and soul, like right now and forevermore. Get her free gifts that she has available.
Mhm.
Mary, that was like the perfect thing because the
Good.
the clarity, like when you know who you are, you know how you serve, you know where you're going.
Hmm.
Guess what? You get to enjoy the journey of walking in your destiny, not like running in it or freaking out. It gets to be
Yes.
like aloha love, right? As compared to
Yes.
anxiety, chaos.
Yes. Love
Thank
it.
you so much. This was so good. And everyone who's listening,
Yes.
we want to hear your wisdom too. We want to hear your biggest takeaway. So go ahead and put your biggest takeaway on this message today in the comments below. And you also know that sharing is caring. So if you were given this gift of inspiration and living the business and life harmony of your dreams, go ahead and share this out with the rest of the world to be able to give someone else that gift as well. Um,
Yes.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I always love our conversations.
And
Yay.
everyone in another level living land. We look forward to seeing you again next week for another episode and have an amazing rest of the week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.